Now that we've done multiplying polynomials, what we want to do next is dividing polynomials. So by the end of this, hopefully you can divide polynomials by using long division. So let me just remind you what long division is, because maybe you've forgotten how this works. What I want to evaluate is 631 divided by 4. So the way this works with long division is I'm doing 4 into 631. So I look at my first number, my first term here, and I say, how many 4s can I take out of 6? And I can take out 1. Once I put that 1 up there, I multiply by 4 and then subtract. So remember, I multiply and then subtract. And I'm going to say that a lot in this video. Once I subtract, I get a 2, and I bring down my next term. Then I repeat the process. I say, how many 4s can I take out of 23? And I can take out 5 of them. Once I write that 5 up there, I multiply and subtract. Then I'll bring down my 1. How many 4s can I take out of 31? Well, I can take 7 of them. Then I'll multiply and subtract. And now I'm done. So the answer to 631 divided by 4 is there were 157 whole pieces, and then my remainder was 3 out of 4. We're going to apply this, but to polynomials. The best way to do this is just working through an example. So I'll start with my x minus 4, and this is being divided into 3x cubed minus 5x squared minus 32x plus 7. Now I'm going to do each step in a different color so that we can kind of see what's going on here. So first thing, I'm only going to look at my first term that I'm dividing by, which is the x. So what can I multiply by x? What can I multiply x by to get 3x cubed? So I would multiply by 3x squared. Once you write that 3x squared up there, I'm going to multiply. So I'll do 3x squared times x minus 4. So when I do that, I get 3x cubed minus 12x squared. So I multiplied, now I subtract. When I subtract, don't forget you got to distribute this negative. So I'll get the 3x cubes cancel, which is what I want. And then I'll have negative 5x squared plus a positive 12x squared, which is 7x squared. And then don't forget to bring down everything else. Now I repeat that process. So I'll go to red this time. What should I multiply x by to get 7x squared? Well, I should multiply it by a positive 7x. Once you write that term up there, you're going to multiply. So I'll multiply and get 7x squared minus 28x, and then subtract. So multiply and subtract. My 7x squareds cancel, which is exactly what we wanted to do. And I have negative 32x plus, because I distributed, plus 28x. So negative 4x, and let's bring down our 7. Next, what should I multiply x by to get negative 4x? So negative 4. And I will multiply. So negative 4x plus 16. Multiply and subtract. Don't forget, multiply and subtract. My 4x's cancel. Once I distribute, I'll have 7 minus 16, which I believe gives me a negative 9. So my answer to this fraction would be 3x squared plus 7x minus 4. That's kind of like my whole piece. But then my remainder was negative 9 over what I'm dividing by, which was x minus 4. Let's try another example. So I'm doing 2 2x plus 4. And I'm dividing this into 6x cubed minus 8x squared plus 10x plus 103. Here we go. So let's go through all of that again. This time I'm worried about the 2x, don't so much worry about the 4. What should I multiply 2x by to get 6x cubed? So I think we should multiply that by 3x squared. Once you write that value up there, or that term up there, I'm going to multiply. So when I multiply, I get 6x cubed plus 12x squared. Now I've multiplied and subtract. The 6x cubes cancel, which is good. And then I have negative 20x squared. Don't forget to bring down all your other terms. So plus 10x plus 103. Let's do it again. What should I multiply 2x by to get to negative 20x squared? Probably negative 10x. Now that I've written that up there, I'll have to multiply. So negative 10x times 2x plus 4, which gives me negative 20x squared minus 40x. Multiply and subtract. Your 20x squareds go away. It's not new. I'm left with 50x because that negative 40 becomes positive, plus 103. Now, what should I multiply 2x by in order to get 50x? I think just a positive 25. So 25 times 2x plus 4. That should give me 50x plus 100. I'll multiply and subtract. Your 50x's go away. 103 minus 100 gives me 3. So my final answer to this fraction is going to be 3x squared minus 10x plus 25. And then I had a remainder of 3, and that's over my 2x plus 4. Right, now let's look at 2x cubed minus 4x plus 42 divided by x plus 3. Now when I write this out, I'm going to do something a little bit different. If you notice, I don't have an x squared term. So instead of just skipping that, I'm going to write 0x squared, just because I want to make sure that I line everything up properly. You don't have to do this. I recommend you do it, but you don't have to do this. And we'll do everything exactly the same we did before. Let's start with red this time. What do I multiply x by to get 2x cubed? So I think you should multiply by 2x squared. Once I write that term up there, I'm going to multiply. So I'll multiply and get 2x cubed plus 6x squared. This is the reason I wrote that 0 up there. Multiply and subtract. When I subtract, it looks like I get negative 6x squared, and let's not forget to bring everything else down. So minus 4x plus 42. Doing it again, what should I multiply x by in order to get negative 6x squared? So I think a negative 6x. So negative 6x times my x plus 3. Let's see, that gives me negative 6x squared minus 18x. So again, multiply and subtract. My 6x squareds go away, which is perfect. And then I get negative 4x plus 18x, which gives me 14x. And then bring down my 42. I think we got one more step here. What should I multiply x by to get 14x? I think just 14. So 14 times my x plus 3 will get me 14x. And then let's see, what's 14 times 3? I believe that's 42. So something interesting happens here. When I subtract, what's left? Well, nothing, just 0. So there was no remainder this time. So my final answer to this entire thing is 2x squared minus 6x plus 14, no remainder this time. It went into it evenly.